Hello guys, Tops here. Today I want to talk to you about the two types of tanks that you can make in Battle Brothers. So first and foremost, you have the Battleforge Tank, and then you have the Dagger Tank. So let's start with the Dagger Tank. In my opinion, he is kind of the easiest build to achieve, because basically any thief or high initiative bro with decent melee defense can be a Dagger Tank. So how do you build him? So you try to get a thief who has really good base stats. He can have 13 melee defense, and you try to get him with melee defense stars and a little bit of initiative. And then you basically go Colossus for more hit points. Then you go dodge, so you get bonus to melee and range defense from your dodge and from your initiative basically. And then you can go for dagger mastery and overwhelm, also gifted, but the main perk is nimble dodge, so you don't get hit at all, and if you get hit you tank with your HP. What's nice about this build is you can do it with most brothers in the game, even the not very good brothers. And 1 versus 1 it's unkillable because you have overwhelm and high initiative. So you almost always go first, triple overwhelm an enemy, and he's like minus 30 to hit. And you have dodge and nimble, so you're basically immune in a 1 versus 1. You can tank early game, you can tank lindworms and what's not. And if you give a thief a shield, you can get to extreme high melee defense. I have an Oath Taker right here, and he has 50 melee defense because he has 3 stars. I made the more aggressive build, like the Duelist Killing Frenzy Berserk build, because he is a better brother with Iron Jaws and the lucky trade. So he's basically a perfect nimble dagger guy. But if you find a worse brother, you can just give him a shield. And the big point about the nimble tank is you can do it with like radar gear. Super easy to get medium armor. It comes online very easy, and you can do very hard fights very easy because you have a nimble dagger tank. Okay. So now we go to the Battleforge Tank. Usually I make Battleforge tanks out of high fatigue bros that have too bad melee attack to be like a damage frontliner, like a cleaver or an axe guy. So most of the time it becomes a hedge knight who low rolled and scammed me. Right. So this guy has iron lungs, so he's amazing Battleforge tank. 65 melee defense with the Lindworm shield. Still 47 fatigue with max Battleforge armor. And how do I build him? I like to have him with recover, so that I can spam my shield expert, shield wall, and indom. Of course he is Battleforged underdog. I gave him resilience, so he can become immune to certain stuff, which is kind of a waste. I'd rather have him steel broad. Gifted is an option, you can do that too. Pathfinder is kind of nice, but not necessary. So you can give him Fortified Mind as well, and Lone Wolf is very good too, so he becomes very, very tanky. I built him a little bit more offensive and gave him Mace Mastery, so he can kind of be also a mace guy and hit something a little bit. But like the perfect Battleforge tank like he is, should have given him a spear and gave him Lone Wolf for sure, so he can just run him out against like 20 enemies and he is still damage immune. And you give him spare shield in Orcs and Chosen fights, and spam Indom and shield wall with recover so you don't die. Yeah, I think Steel Brow and Resilient are both perks that you can do, same with Brawny, but you don't have to do. Fortified Mind is very nice, especially with Lone Wolf. Could be a mandatory perk. 9 lives is kind of nice if you really get him out there and he's not a very good bro, like an early game bro, and you get more mileage out of him. Same with the Dagger, the Nimble Dodge Tank. So if you have early game tanks that are not very good, giving him 9 lives make them more survivable, in theory. Of course, Colossus, the hit points are too good. I take them on all brothers. Shield Expert is mandatory, and Indom kinda too, of course, Battleforge. Underdog, of course, so if you get surrounded, you don't care. Yeah, but I like the Battleforge tanks because you kinda just need high melee defense, and even medium melee defense does it for the most part. And tanks, they are very, very easy to make and easy to find. And most of the time I make them from bros that I can't make into damage bros in general. That have like decent defense but more or less unusable melee skill. Like I don't get melee skill to like 80 plus or even 90 plus for like the axes or the cleavers, then I would make a tank out of them. And early game, most of your bros can become tanks. Like trash tanks that you just throw away and you just put them on the left flank, let them run alone. They tank a lot of enemies. If they die, they die. Especially with 9 lives, it's a very good combo. If they survive, but they won't make it into late game. Yeah. That's my opinion about the Nimble and the Battleforge tank. If you have any questions or you want to be part of a discussion, you can write me down in the comments below. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Have a good time. Bye bye.